Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the College Hoops Show. In today's video, I will be giving you the perfect second chance bracket, going game by game, giving you the perfect predictions for each game. Starting in the East region, you got Duke versus St. John's. Right now, a lot of people think that St. John's, on the heater that they have been on, with Rick Pitino at the head, can beat Duke. Duke has not played exceptionally well this tournament, but there are rumors that Caleb Foster, after getting hurt in the UNC game on March 7th, so it'll be 20 days later as of when the game is going to happen, they are saying he will return from his broken foot. And if he returns, I have no doubt in my mind that Duke will win this game. Duke, with him, has been so dominant all year, and I don't think this is where they're going to stop. Sure, they didn't play great against Siena, but they just had an amazing win against TCU. They just dominated that second half, and Ngumba being back really showed. And he's going to be playing, and if Foster plays, they might win the whole thing. Moving down, Michigan State versus UConn, two of the most storied college basketball programs. Tom Izzo, they say never bet against Izzo in March. But has Izzo really done that much in March? I personally think he has. And I think UConn is finally going to see the issues with playing in the Big East. I mean, they have played nobody besides St. John all year. Two tournament teams in the entire conference. It was just St. John's, Villanova, and then UConn. They've only really had to play two real teams, in my opinion, all year. And I think it's really going to show when they play against Michigan State, who did very well in a very strong Big Ten this year. So I think Izzo's going to prevail because it is March. And then in the East Region Final, just like in my first bracket, it is Duke versus Michigan State. And I think it's got to be Duke. I mean, it's just... They beat them already this year, and they shut down Fierce, and I just think it's going to be too much for Michigan State, especially if Caleb Foster returns. Moving down, we've got the South region, Iowa, Nebraska. This is the real Midwest Bowl in the South region, of course, but you've got Iowa and Nebraska, and really this game is going to get interesting. I can see both of these teams playing very well. But right now, I think it would be impossible not to bet on Iowa and Bennett Sturts. Because, I mean, the dude is an absolute GOAT. I mean, he was hitting some of the toughest shots I've ever seen through triple coverage against Florida. And I think you stick with the team that just beat Florida, one of the so-called hottest teams in the country. Moving down, it's Illinois and Houston. And it's the best defense in the country in Houston versus the best offense in the country in Illinois. I mean, this game could not actually be more different. I mean, it's literally just, 84 points per game versus 62 opponents' points per game. But I really think that Kelvin Sampson and Houston are going to be able to slow down the game and beat Illinois with amazing play from their guards. I really think Houston's got a chance to do it. And then for the South Region Final, I think this is unfortunately when the Iowa Cinderella is going to end. Houston is so good. They have been so good all year. I think they were robbed of a 1 seed. I actually think they were more deserving than Florida was, despite Florida being in the SEC. So I think this is where we see Houston and their experience prevail over Iowa. And that's going to set up a rematch of last year's Final Four game between Duke and Houston, which I think is going to be an absolute barn burner. So then moving to the West, it's Arizona and Arkansas. Arkansas has been very hot as of late. Your SEC champions versus your Big 12 regular season and tournament champions. I mean, Arizona's been amazing. This game is just going to come down to, is Darius Acuff enough to defeat Arizona? And it's going to come down to that. And yes, they have Malik Thomas, but it's going to bank on whether Acuff can go for like 40 points again, like he did against High Point. I mean, they literally needed a 36-point performance from him to beat a mid-major, to beat a 12 seed. And of course, High Point has made the argument for mid-majors to be considered the same level as high majors and get to play high majors at the beginning of the season. But I really think Arizona is going to have this one. Koa Piet, Braden Burries, Jaden Bradley. I mean, they were in my top five scariest teams. They were the number one. I think they have been so dominant this year. There's not been a team that's been quite like them all year. So I really think that's where they are going to prevail because no team has been playing like them. And then moving down, it's Texas and Purdue. And I do think Texas got very lucky with their draw. They played an injured BYU, and they played a not very strong Gonzaga. So I did think they got lucky, but I picked them to the Sweet 16. I saw it coming. I saw a strong SEC team that was very underseeded doing well against two very weak teams, but I see this is where it ends, as I think Purdue is going to end Texas's 3-game win streak, and I think it's just going to be Braden Smith. I truly think that the all-time college basketball assists leader, he's the all-time assist leader. He's going to put up 20 against Texas. I mean, the guy is ridiculous. I do think that, unfortunately, both of our Cinderellas are going to end in the Sweet 16. And both of our Cinderellas are going to end before the Final Four. I don't see a high seed making it through to the Final Four. So that sets up Arizona-Purdue in the West Region Final. And I think Purdue got a very easy lower half of the bracket. And I think Arizona got a very hard top half. They had to beat two good teams in Utah State and Arkansas to get to the point where they're at. And I don't see them not going through. I think that they definitely are going to just overpower Purdue the entire game. And that brings us to the Midwest region. And it's Michigan and Alabama. Alabama is going to put up 100 points against Michigan. The only problem is going to be that Michigan is going to put up 110. I mean, there's no way Michigan is not going to be able to absolutely blast through this abysmal Alabama defense. Michigan has one of the better defenses in the country, and they are pretty much on pace with Alabama in how they score. And I see Yaxel Lendeberg having a huge game, and I see Elliot Cadeau having a huge game and taking advantage of a very weak Alabama defense. I personally think Alabama got lucky with their draw. I mean, you have to play Hofstra and Texas Tech with no JT Toppin. Texas Tech with JT Toppin could have been a 2 seed. Texas Tech without JT Toppin, they weren't really. They beat them by like 30. So I think Michigan, they're gonna outscore Alabama, which is all you have to do. Obviously, to win a basketball game, you have to outscore your opponent. And moving down, Tennessee, Iowa State. I think Tennessee got lucky. I do think a lot of these teams got very lucky with where they ended up. I mean, this East region was an absolute dogfight for every single team in it. The South region was a dogfight for every single team in it. So I did think that the Midwest and the West got very lucky with, besides Arizona, with who they had to play. So I think Iowa State goes through. Tennessee did not really look that good against UVA. Virginia had one of their worst shooting nights of the entire year, and Tennessee still only managed to beat them by, I think, 7 points. I mean, so I truly think that Iowa State is just going to play better the entire game. And that's going to set up a great matchup between Michigan and Iowa State in the Elite Eight. And I again think that it's now going to be the defensive show. And on paper, Iowa State should win the defensive show, except for the fact that they haven't had to defend a player like Yaxel Lendeberg all year. They have not. I mean, they have not had to deal with that kind of star power, in my opinion, being in the Big 12. The Big 12 is a great conference, but it's known for its hard-to-play defensive teams, not its insane offensive capabilities like the Big 10 and the SEC. So I think that you're going to see Michigan go through. And funnily enough, this is the same Final Four I had picked in my original bracket that I said would win you your bracket pool. So maybe next year, keep looking at my picks. And that brings us to the Final Four. It's Duke Houston. It's what happened last year all over again. It is deja vu for Duke fans like myself. And you've got to say, there's no way we mess it up this time, right? And as much as I would love to say that there's no way we mess it up, there is most definitely a way we mess it up. I just don't think that this is going to be the time we mess it up. I think that, honestly, we are a better team than we were last year. We had more star power last year, but we didn't play as a team as well as we are going to play as a team against Houston this time. And we actually have players who are going to make their free throws in the last 2 minutes of the game, which is crucial to win a basketball game. You have to make your free throws. And hopefully, instead of just letting the best players on each team ISO for the final bucket, Shire will draw up a play like he's been doing in the last couple games, like he's been doing this season, learning from his mistake last season of just giving the ball to the best player on the court and trusting them to draw up a play for the best player on the court, like Michael Jordan in '82. They drew up a play. They didn't let him ISO. They drew up a play to get him the ball. It was catch and shoot. He knew he was getting that ball. And I think the same needs to be done with Boozer. You need to have him know he's getting the ball. You need to set a pick, have Evans get open for a three, fake the three, throw it down to Boozer. Boozer lays it in, they win the game. I think that's what's going to happen. And then Arizona, Michigan. I mean, this game, both these Final Four games are going to be insane, but I think this one's going to take the cake. And it's just pound for pound, 2 out of the 3 best teams in the country. And they were my number 2 in Michigan and my number 1 in the scariest teams still left in the Sweet 16. So I think that this game is going to be an absolute just dogfight all the way through. Every single basket is going to count because it's going to come down to the last one. But I think Michigan is going to take it. I think it's going to be a Duke-Michigan rematch, which, hey guys, guess what? That's what I picked in my original bracket. Isn't this crazy? I think this is just nuts. So, judging by my pick in my original bracket, I bet you guys can't guess who I would pick in this game. It's going to be the Duke Blue Devils. I think this is the year. It's Shire's first championship. He's winning Coach of the Year. Boozer's the National Player of the Year. And Duke is going to win the national championship. But those are just my picks. If you want to make your own picks, go and do that. Just know, my picks are doing pretty great right now. So, hopefully I keep it up. But that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching the College Hoops Show. Make sure to drop a like and a sub if you enjoy the content. I'm giving daily or game by game recaps of every single game in the Sweet 16, in the Elite 8, and obviously the Final Four games and the National Championship games. I will be on point posting hopefully like 30 minutes after every game ends. Maybe don't hold me to that, but I will be trying my best to get you guys coverage of every single game. Stay tuned with the channel and just, yeah, have a great day.